How you doing, comic card fans? Um, Welcome to Comic Card Channel. It's JK. I wanted to go over a couple of European titles today from Ablaze Publishing. Um, Obviously, they're kind of licensed titles, but I wanted to highlight Ablaze for distributing um, some series that have been translated into English from Europe that I've found very entertaining. And really, um, I believe a few publishers, a handful of publishers, have been taking some titles from uh, Europe Comics, who has really been doing a lot of heavy lifting to translate a lot of European material to be read digitally. And then, publishers, US publishers like Ablaze, I think Lion Forge, uh, Titan, they've been, taking the next step and publishing those books um, in nice kind of, you know, uh, print format. And so I wanted to look at a couple that I've enjoyed. One being the Old Geezers um, out of France, and then Gung Ho, which is from a couple of, I believe, German um, creators. So, yeah, I mean, let's go through these one title at a time, and hopefully you guys can get a good look and decide whether or not they're for you. The first one, Old Geezers, you know, highly recommend. 2 volumes out, and each volume um, out of Ablaze is about 130, I think, two pages. A good chunk of that is, process um, bonus material, kind of, model sheets, things like that. But, each volume contains 2 volumes, as I guess they came out in France, and they're probably something like 64 pages, something like that each. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's a great story. The story of, 3 70, 80-year-old uh, lifelong friends, childhood friends in France, um, and kind of their uh, adventures. They're an eclectic group. Um, One of them was kind of a career union leader, the kind of socialist type. Another is similar, but more, you know, anarchist. This guy right here, Pierrot. And then a third friend who basically traveled the world on adventures, rugby player. But, you know, the book is extremely entertaining. Um, they get kind of back together because, one of the wives dies, and, um, the granddaughter of Antoine, whose wife has died, um, comes in and kind of adds a different type of uh, energy to the group. I just found it to be extremely funny and entertaining. It just um, lets I'm not old, but getting up there in age, and as you get older, really, most people just stay the same inside their heads. They just kind of physically get older, but this book really shows that a lot of kind of random um, old person humor, some flashbacks in black and white, just going through their lives, their past, um, the fun they had, as well as kind of current day. Um, it's really quite funny. It's different from probably anything in American comics, and that's why I'm really happy that publishers like Ablaze go out and get the rights to bring this to American readers. It's a different, totally different type of book. The art is fantastic. Paul Coway, I think is his name. The writer, Wilfred Lupano. Um, but the art, cartooning, fantastic. Great expressions, just great, unique characters. Um, really like the color work. Kind of blew me away. Just changing depending on the settings. Um, it's just an extremely entertaining read, and I wouldn't call it like, material for kids. There's mature stuff in here. Um, but I've, you know, it's a page turner, and so far, through Ablaze, there's 2 volumes, which collects 4 basically stories. I believe in France they might be on um, the 7th story. So, there's enough for another kind of volume from Ablaze, and then, with time, maybe, a 4th. But yeah, I mean, it's just a very entertaining book. A lot of old person humor that you wouldn't even think of, like this group, um, just takes advantage of their old age to be able to do things that I guess, people will not be accepting of, but be like, oh, that, I can see how that happens with a 90-some-year-old. Um, there's I'm not sure where it is, but there's a scene in here where they're like, one of their old friends lives near a bar that has been extremely loud, and just bothering the crap out of that grandma. And um, so what do? The old group basically invades the bar. They start going there every single night and chase away anybody that's young, because it's like, hey, there's a bunch of 80-year-olds hanging out here every single night. And they do that to basically destroy that bar's business so that it becomes quiet again if the owner of the bar, is not willing to cooperate. And so, you know, kind of flipping through this fast, but it's just a very fun story. It kind of gets you kind of sentimental, going back to like childhood, although it's a story of like, a lot older people, and just get you thinking about like life, and how to kind of continue to maybe stay alive and stay youthful, because the old geezers here, they managed to continue to do that. And so, I mean, if you just look, it's just the art is extremely fun. um, yeah, I mean, I think it's a really positive thing that this book has been translated and we get a chance to read it. And if you want to continue to read it, it's available at Europe Comics, like digitally. But yeah, I mean, at least you can kind of keep up. And I'm really grateful that these days so much translated material is becoming available, and it's not the same kind of stuff, same superhero type of stuff. It's totally different comics from what we normally see in the US, and the art is usually different, fantastic. um yeah, I mean, I can't recommend this one, Old Geezers, highly enough. And I've actually looked for some art from this book. It doesn't seem like too many pages are available, and the one like page that is, um, it was like 8,000 euros or something like that, and so it's not cheap. But I'll keep it on my radar to, um, yeah, to hopefully maybe get an example from here one of these days, just because it's just so fun. And um, yeah, you know, the second book uh, or series we have is Gung Ho. Um, I guess I describe it as something like The Outsiders meets The Walking Dead. It's kind of like a post-apocalypse, um, teenage coming of age type story. Um, yeah, I mean, it is definitely something different in the sense of not necessarily the story, but visually the art, which is basically digitally painted. I think the artist is Thomas von Kumant, um, and I'm not always a huge fan of the digital art. I always want to, if I can, read stuff where I could buy the art. Um, it's mature. Okay, so there's like nudity, um, some sex, nothing like raunchy, but yeah, I mean, it's like you're dealing with an enclave, variety of enclaves around the world that are isolated. They can't really travel because there was this like white plague, and now there's these like crazy white monkey looking things that basically, you know, kill everybody, you know, and somehow they attack. They haven't described why or how it happened, what they are, as far as, are they like mutated humans or lab experiment gone wrong? But yeah, I mean, it's like an exciting story, fun story. Um, Kids kind of teenage hijinks, rebelliousness, corrupt adults, a lot of the tropes. Um, but it's a fun book. It's a page turner. Um, if you look, the art is just really high quality, different. Um, not a lot of like black lines, right? As we usually see in comics, it's purely kind of digital paint effect. And yeah, I found it very enjoyable. These tend to be thicker. I think they're like 180 something pages per volume. There's two out so far. Um, I'm not sure how far they are in, out in Germany or wherever this is first being published, but I know there's more to come for sure. Um, yeah, I mean, you know, fun book, fun, entertaining book. It's like if you like Walking Dead type stuff, post apocalypse type stuff, um, this will be a fun read. And once again, another one. I'm glad, Ablaze making good decisions, picking good books to bring over. Like, I have to applaud whoever it is that's making kind of those decisions. But you know, I always like to see this type of unique art. And so I really haven't seen a ton of comic books that look like this. Um, it looks almost like on the verge of being like, digital animation, like you could easily turn this into, um, some digitally animated movie or TV series. Um, but it's really good. Um, yeah, I mean, obviously, none of the art is available. Ton of variant covers at the end, um, which I'm thinking, as opposed to like a lot of the French bande dessinée where they have like these thicker volumes. This series has been coming out in single issue somewhere, either through Ablaze, I think, but maybe in Germany. I don't know. But yeah, you know, you guys can kind of check it out. I think there's slightly cheaper kind of digital reading at Europe Comics, where a lot of these books are licensed from by the publisher. Um, maybe check out the first volume, but I found them to be very entertaining. The only probably thing, you know, I'm disappointed in would be just the size of the books, which is, essentially what we would have as a standard hardcover size, um, basically trade paperback size. And I'm pretty positive this book, at least Old Geezers, is much bigger in France. They're kind of album size over there. And, with the art the way it is, of course, you would want as big as you can. And so, Ablaze, if you're hearing this, you have to put these out in French album size if you can. You could kind of see from the borders, right? The shape of the book is not, the art is not standard hardcover, right? You have like large, you know, margins up top and nothing on the side. And so these are meant to be kind of like, you know, wider and taller, right? But a little bit more wide than we're used to. And so, yeah, I mean, that would probably be the only thing that I would ask for, if they could produce these in larger size, because the art's fantastic. And who doesn't want bigger books, if you're only going to produce one kind of size, you might as well go with the, the biggest you can. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this quick look through couple of Ablaze titles. I hope that they continue to be published. Ablaze finishes out, everything that's available, from the Old Geezers and from Gung Ho, and continues to add good titles to their library. So thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe if you can, if you like this at all. It would help out a lot, trying to get to 100 to get my short URL. And leave a comment. Let me know if you've read this, what you think about it, what you think about the art, and if there's anything similar that you think is out there that you think I should read. Thanks, guys. Bye.